As photographers, we have a ton of images to store and organize and all the things. You have your raw images, your final images, and everything in between. So how do we actually go about organizing it so that we don't lose anything and we always know exactly where to go if we're looking for something specific? I am going to walk you through that today. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Rebecca Rice, and I help family photographers gain a life of financial freedom through a thriving photography business. And so I'm really pumped to be able to walk you guys through the process of how I store and back up my raw images and my final images from every single session that I do. Now, before we jump in, I wanted to let you know about a free class that I have just for you guys. It's the 5 steps to launching your photography side gig. So if you have a full-time job, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you're wanting to move this thing from a hobby into an actual business, I'm walking you through the 5 steps that you need to launch this business in the next 30 days. So you don't have to question like what kind of things you should be doing, how to make this thing legit. I'll walk you through all the steps. It's a totally free class. You can grab the link below to sign up and join us because it's going to be awesome and I know it'll be helpful for you. I know for me, I'm more of a visual person and so it really helps to see. We're going to actually flip around so that you can see my screen and I'm going to walk you through how I store my raw images, my final images, and everything on my external hard drive.
Okay, I wanted to walk you through my file organization system. One question that I get asked a lot is how do I even keep up with all my files? Like how do I organize them? Because I do shoot in really high volume. And so I wanted to kind of show you my system. This was something when I was first starting out that I struggled for a little bit to find a good system of how I wanted to save all my files in a way that was easy for me to locate them if I needed to. And so the thing with the system is you got to find what works best for you and for your needs. And so I'll show you mine and you're welcome to completely copy it or, tweak it and adjust it to make it work for you. But I start out having one folder per year. So we're in the 2020 folder. And as we go, you can see I have my folders. There's one folder per session or per mini session. So I have the year, the month, and then the date. That way they stay in order because I want them to be in order that I shot them. So this is how I organize them. If you just do the month and the year, then as you get into like 10, 11, 12, it just throws everything off because of that one up front. And so I like to do it this way. That way it just stays in order. So if it's a full session, I do mom's first and last name. For example, Elise Streeter family. So that's mom, first and last name, family, or whatever type of session it is. You'll see some names in parentheses. That's if an associate shot those. Then that's just my associate's name. But generally speaking, Bettina Miller family session. This one is called Framily because it's actually a group of 8 sorority sisters that every year we do these like friend family photo sessions. So that one's pretty funny, but I'll show you how I organize it for mini sessions. So we'll click on this mini. Each date of minis or location. So this date I did 2 different locations of minis. And so they each got their own folder and I just did 24A, 24B. That way they were in order that I shot them. But this was in Arizona, so it was at Papago Park Minis. Inside that folder, I've got a capture folder, which is where all of my raw images go. And inside the capture folder, I number them in order that they came, and then mom's first and last name. So Ashley Weber has a capture, Heather, don't know how to say her last name, has a capture, whoever. They all have a capture folder, and inside is all of the raw images that we took. And these are actually just the ones that I did not edit. I usually hang on to these for about a year just in case, just because storage is cheap. But anything that I am going to edit, once I cull, or I'm sorry, let me start here. As soon as I get images off of my SD card, they go into the capture folder right away. And then from there, I'll cull, which I'll show you in the next lesson, but I'll cull in Photo Mechanic, and any photo that I choose to edit goes into my selects folder. So in the selects folder, every family has their own select folder, and in there you can see all the images that I chose to edit. So these are the raws that I never delete ever, and these are the ones that I delete after a year because they are the ones that I didn't even edit. They're blinking and blurry and just not good photos. So, but I hang on to them for a while, just because in the event that I happen to miss something while I was culling and the family specifically asked for a shot and I did just miss it, it's in that capture folder. But after a year, there's no way that they're gonna ask for something I didn't edit. If anything, they'll ask for edited photos. So I delete that after a year, but I hang on to the selects. And then once I edit, so the selects folder are the ones that I bring into Lightroom, which I'll show you in the batch editing section. But once I edit, they go into the output folder. And so in output, you can see just the photos that I edited. And this family got a lot because they were super cute. It was a family of, with 5 kids, so that I tend to shoot a little bit more. But, oh, and they bought their full gallery, yay. But I changed my file name to be last name, family, and then -1, so that if you look in the selects folder, it's, this weird, all these letters and numbers. I don't want that to be what I deliver to them. And so I rename them in Lightroom. That way they are nice and numbered. Plus, if I need to go back and adjust something, they can tell me what number it was and I'll be able to find it super easily. So every family has their own output folder that gets renamed. And this system works super well. Don't ask me why I call them capture, select, and output. I think that's just one of the first people that I came across when I was first trying to find a system. That's what they called it. And so it stuck and I've used it for years. So you can probably come up with better names if you wanted to, or you can use capture, select, and output. It sounds kind of scientific, but that's okay. So this system works super well for me. And if I ever need to go find, I had somebody from last Christmas want their photos re-uploaded because they lost them. Their hard drive crashed, whatever. So I was able to go find their mini session date, go to the output folder, and find their family super fast. All I need to know is what date we shot their minis. And I typically do based on the location. So this one is Studio House Christmas minis. That was at the Studio House. Papago Park minis, or I have Tennessee Red Truck minis, Harlansdale Farm minis, wherever I'm shooting, I'll do that. Sometimes I do Adriatica, fall minis, Adriatica. So I had 4 sets of fall minis and I just put the location in parentheses. So, whatever works for you, find a system that works and stay consistent with it. That's the biggest piece of advice I could give because, it'll help keep you sane. And especially, even if you're not a super organized person like I am, having a system in place will ease some of that stress and that burden of, having so many photos to keep track of. So, if you want to use this system, go for it. If you want to tweak it and use pieces of it, that's fine too. Just find a system that works for you. That way you can adjust it and use it for your business consistently.